The skis are waxed and the map holders are mounted. It is ski orienteering's time to shine at the Torino 2025 FISU World University Games Winter. And if you are new to the sport, well, sit down and buckle up, because this is a fast and really exciting sport worth getting familiar with. So here's the course, a little bit of information. The fastest person to the end in a ski orienteering competition is the winner, but they have to go through control points. They have to find their way there using a map, which they only get 15 seconds before the start. And you can see that the wide green tracks, those represent the big sort of groomed cross-country tracks. The smaller ones are less well groomed. The ski orienteers are renowned for not just brawn and strength, but also brains. It's a snowy day, the first one I think we've had. It's been snowing steadily all morning. On the start line today, 28 men will be battling it out for the top spots here in Pragelato in the ski orienteering. Some favourites in here: Erik Frost, Jonas Karlsson, Jonathan Stahl, of course, the favourite probably of the day, and Theodor Hjelseth. They are all someones to watch out for, but anything can happen. And I would like to tell you that what it says in the rules, skiing and navigational skills shall be tested in such a way that navigational skill is the decisive element. So here we go with Axel Alda of Norway. He's from Oslo, studying industrial design in Trondheim. And he has there his map holder right up close to his face, as you can see. He's off. He's the first of our 28 men out there today he is representing Norway. They have 6 male athletes out on the course. This first section, they head out. They've got a little bit of time to look at that map, because 15 seconds just before the start is not a lot of time. And here is the second athlete out today, Korsen Müller of Switzerland. The Müller family, very well known in the ski orienteering world. Korsen is the second youngest of the siblings. There are 5 of them, and he is out the gate and away. Number 3 here from Kazakhstan, one of 5, I beg your pardon, Kazakhstani athletes in the men's category. Ilya Taganashkin of Kazakhstan, studying transport and transportation technology at East Kazakhstan Technical University. Invited to do ski orienteering by a friend and took to it, and is now here representing his country. Jonas Karlsson there. All they have to do is shake their hand as close as possible. They don't need to punch, they don't need to stop, but they do need to check afterwards that their unit is flashing to make sure that they have actually punched through the checkpoint, the control point, as Marek Sterba of Sweden takes off here. Third in the sprint at the Junior World Ski Orienteering Championships last year, as well as in the middle distance. And in the lead at the moment, the fastest through is Korsen Müller of Switzerland. You can see it's quite a speedy affair getting those maps in, as Andri Jordi of Switzerland takes to the start. Andri Jordi, studying civil engineering at BFH in Bern. As Alex Alda comes onto our TV screens there. On the start now, Tuomas Autinen of Finland. From Turku, 23-year-old studying at Turku School of Economics. Finnish have only 2 men in competition today, but they have 5 female competitors, so we will see them a bit later on. The women starting at 3 o'clock. It's the ski orienteering sprint. We're in Pragelato in Italy. It's Torino 2025, the FISU Games. And we can see that Corson Müller is in the lead ahead of Alex Alde, with Eric Frost behind them. Corson Bos of Switzerland. And here we have Axel Alde crossing the finish line, followed by Corson Müller, but who takes the lead. So Corson Müller going into the lead for the time being. 13:13 is the time to beat, as the favorite takes to the start line. Jonathan Stahl of Sweden, winner of the first World Cup earlier this month in Sjusjøen in Norway. Joint winner, actually, which is a fairly unusual occurrence, but there you go. This is the young man to watch, and who Corson Müller will be keeping a sharp eye on. They are starting at 1-minute intervals, which gives interesting, well, it's actually really so that nobody follows anybody else, because of course it's better later on, but slightly easier later on in the game, as it, so to speak, as there are tracks to follow. But as not everybody takes the same course, this is very much a sport where one races one's own race, as Gustavs Stana of Latvia takes to the start. 20-year-old, currently 40th in the World Cup rankings. One of the key aspects of this sport is to be able to keep going as quickly as possible while looking at the map and making hundreds of decisions at great speed. And you can see perhaps a little more experience in those who can keep going with that sort of necessary speed. And coming to the finish now, Eric Frost of Norway. He won't be beating Corson Müller, but can he just pip Alex Alde into third? Yes, he does. Some of the choices that these ski orienteers need to make are whether to take the longer or the faster, wider tracks. There, as Ole Gunnar goes past a control point, or whether to take a shortcut, which may be a little bit more steep or less well tracked, less well groomed. And these are the decisions that they must be making all the time. And obviously a lot of this comes with experience. One of the favorites, Nicholas Ekström of Finland, studying environmental sciences, takes to the start. He is one to watch, and after him Ole Jama of Estonia, also one to watch. He's at the University of Tartu studying computer science, but on a bit of an academic break to focus 100% on his sport. Corson Boos here, hoping to be the man to knock his compatriot off the top spot. As you can see, there is an element of adventure in this sport. And that is some hard work going on there by Corson Boos. Will be taking a lot of energy. Majority of these athletes, as you may have seen, a lot of Scandinavian countries where the terrain is quite different from here, much more wooded. As Andrew Jordi comes across the line to take second place for Switzerland at the moment. But here in Pragelato, in the frozen meadow, elevation and vertical meters will play a key factor. And reading the contour lines properly on the map at speed will be an absolutely key skill. As we see one of the best here on our screen, Jonathan Stahl of Sweden. As we see Theodor Hjelseth of Norway, the penultimate athlete of the day, or of the men's competition anyway, as he sets off. He's from the east side of Oslo and studying civil engineering in Trondheim. Corson Boos of Switzerland. That is Thomas Outenen coming up to the finish line. Still not going to take Corson Muller's top spot at the moment. Goes into 5th place. As the other Corson from Switzerland piles in and pushes his compatriot down to 2nd place. New leader in 13:07, Corson Boos of Switzerland from Canton Lucerne, studying environmental engineering masters, his masters at ETHZ Zurich. And that is Josef Nagy of Czechia, 21st in the world rankings. We just saw him punching through a control point there, as Jonathan Stahl looks very likely to not have given Corson Boos very long on the top step. As perhaps predicted, he has gone into the lead. 12:54, he's broken the 13-minute mark.
13 minutes and 13 seconds ahead of Corson Boos. So it's at this point Sweden and twice Switzerland.
So it is Jonathan Stahl of Sweden ahead of Corson Boos and Corson Müller, both of Switzerland, current leaders. And those behind will have their work cut out to beat this man, that is for sure. As you saw there, the control by the jury of checking that all the control points were checked and punched, as they say, in the correct order. Jan Andre Müller of the Müller family. He's the middle of the Müller children, 21. graduated from sports school in Davos in 2023 and is going on to become an osteopath starting this autumn. And the whole family is involved, the Müller family, very well known in the ski orienteering world. Nicolas Müller, the eldest, several times ski orienteering world and European championship medal winner. Of course, and we have Lavio Florina, who will be competing in the women's competition. And this is Jan Andri. And he will be hoping to beat his brother. Do it. Not quite. Big brother goes into fourth. So currently Jonathan Stahl of Sweden ahead of Korsen Boos and Korsen Müller of Switzerland. Nicholas Ekström of Finland, he will be one that Jonathan Stahl is keeping a close eye on. This environmental sciences student from Turku in Finland started with family at a very young age in cross-country skiing and orienteering. Very common mix, funnily enough, for many of these athletes, if not most. They started in those other two sports and then felt that there was the opportunity to put them together. His younger sister, Lottelina, also competes in the national team. He is the Finnish champion in the middle distance as he comes here to the finish line. But not one to knock Jonathan Stahl off the podium today. And he comes in just shy of the podium in fourth for the moment. Theodor Hjelseth of Norway, he was our second to last starter this morning or this afternoon. This is the sprint competition for the ski orienteering here at Torino 2025 FISU Games. A snowy day, which the locals will be thrilled with. There has not been a huge amount of snow in this part of the world. We're in Pragelato, northwest Italy. We are 60 kilometers west of Turin and 30 kilometers from the French border. That gives you an idea of where we are. As you see, Josef Nagy. Followed there, I think, by Oleyama. And you can see they came from two very different directions to get to that same control point. Josef Nagy working really hard here, but I think not quite going to knock the Swede off the top spot. Josef Nagy goes into second. And Ole Yama, who we saw there, just gone into 12th. These are all, of course, provisional, because not everybody has finished. But delighted there, Josef Nagy of Czechia. We will be seeing the women take off in about 22 minutes. It's a similar but not quite the same course for them. Theodor Hjelseth, Norway. Quick check of the map to see where he is. He will be on his map there on what will look to him like a wide green line. That means a groomed track of more than 3 meters wide. As he comes to the finish line, looking very strong indeed. Just under a minute to make it to the finish line, to see if he can knock Jonathan Stahl off his perch, so to speak. And huge amounts of Norwegian enthusiasm and cheering here, because he could just do it. Theodor Hjelseth of Norway coming in 15 checkpoint control points later. And the course commentator, course speaker, and the Norwegians are very excited, because he's going to be able to do this with 2 seconds to spare. Theodor Hjelseth knocks Jonathan Stahl off the top spot and goes into the lead. Here, the Norwegians are delighted. Absolutely exhausting this. So 2 seconds separate Theodor Hjelseth and Jonathan Stahl at the top of the results list there. For Norway, it is Theodor Hjelseth, Jonathan Stahl, and Josef Nagy as they stand for their photos.